good, y'all? We are officially 11 days from the super fight between Saul Canelo Alvarez and Terence Crawford. I'm extremely excited for this fight, but I'm noticing something about Terence Crawford's appearance that many people are talking about as well. Now, if you look at the post that Terence Crawford made 5 weeks ago on Instagram, he looked super brolic, leading up to his fight with Canelo. Dude was walking around looking like a tank, right? To the point where he had Canelo fans so scared that you had Canelo fans on social media accusing Terence Crawford of being on steroids because he's affiliated with Snack and Victor Conte. You know what I'm saying? But now that we're 11 days from the fight, right? I seen the interview that Terence Crawford did in Omaha, Nebraska, where he basically had a homecoming send-off before he officially, boarded a plane to go to Las Vegas to really 100% lock in for the fight date 11 days from now. And I noticed that Terence Crawford looks skinny, bro. His arms, 5 weeks ago, his arms looked brolic. And I noticed now that we're 11 days out from the fight, obviously he's cutting down the weight because he wants to make sure that he makes the weight of 168 pounds. Now he's looking skinnier, bro. He's looking pretty much the same as he looked when he fought Israel Majimov. I don't notice a huge difference. And that just goes to show that Terence Crawford's body is not accustomed to holding on to that muscle at this new weight class. And for me, that's a red flag, y'all. That's a red flag, right? Whenever you see Canelo fight at 168, right? Or 175, because he's fought at light heavyweight. But let's just talk about the weight class that Terence Crawford and Canelo are going to fight at. Canelo always carries muscle and holds muscle when he fights at 168, right? Terence Crawford, like I said 5 weeks ago, you can see the muscle mass that he put on. But him cutting down those pounds to make 168, 11 days out from the fight, Terence Crawford's arms, his arms specifically, look skinny, bro. They look skinny. Now, no Diddy, his legs look bigger. No Diddy, right? His core looks bigger, right? His shoulders look a little big, look a little bigger. But his arms, bruh, it kind of reminds me of that episode of SpongeBob where Larry the Lobster had the inflatable arms. Y'all remember that shit? Shout out to SpongeBob, man. Like, I'm a little worried about Terence Crawford because we all know Canelo, he can get a little dirty in that ring. He'll punch you in the arm. He'll punch you in the kidney. He'll punch you in the leg. A lot of people forget when Canelo Alvarez at 23 years old fought Floyd Money Mayweather, he got so frustrated with Floyd Mayweather because he couldn't hit him that he punched Floyd Mayweather in his leg. You know what I'm saying? When he fought Caleb Plant, he punched Caleb Plant in his kidney, punched him in his back. You know what I'm saying? When Canelo Alvarez fought Dimitri Bivol, he was punching Bivol in his arms to the point where you can see the bruises on Dimitri Bivol's arms. So imagine if Canelo was in the ring with Terence Crawford and he's frustrated because he's not landing on Crawford, and then he starts punching Crawford on the arms. He starts punching Crawford in his back, hitting his kidneys, you know what I'm saying? Like, is Terence Crawford going to be able to handle that power? Because this is the same Canelo Alvarez that dropped Jaime Munguia, who's bigger than Terence Crawford. He dropped Sergey Kovalev at light heavyweight. He's bigger than Terence Crawford. He dropped Charlo, right? Who unified the 154-pound division. He's bigger than Crawford. Who else? Edgar Berlanga. He's a bigger dude than Terence Crawford. He knocked all these dudes down, bro. And he knocked out Caleb Plant, by the way. So I'm very interested to see how is Terence Crawford going to handle this power at this new weight class. And with Terence Crawford's arms looking skinny, is he gonna have any power at 168? Because we didn't see that power when he fought Majimov. His first and only fight at 154, we didn't see Terence Crawford drop Majimov. We didn't see Terence Crawford hurt Majimov at any point in that fight. Yeah, Majimov's face was messed up. Okay, well, Terence Crawford's face was messed up too. One of his eyes was almost closed up. Obviously, Terence Crawford is dark-skinned, so it's harder to see the bruising on a dark-skinned dude's face than a dude that's white. That's obvious, right? That's just human anatomy, whatever you want to call it, right? Let's just call it what it is. right? Israel Majimov was landing that straight right hand all night on Terence Bud Crawford. So what's going to happen when Canelo lands those straight right hands? Like, I hate to say it, bro, but I just see a scenario where Terence Bud Crawford is going to be doing a lot of moving around in this ring, bro. And listen, that could be a good thing for Terence Bud Crawford. Because if you look at the William Skull and Canelo fight, right? William Skull outlanded Canelo Alvarez in that fight. Canelo was very frustrated. Canelo hated the fact that he had to keep moving around and he failed to cut the ring off. And William Skull was outlanding Canelo. He was even landing punches on Canelo, getting in and out, landing punches on Canelo, moving around. I think Terence Bud Crawford can do that same thing similarly, but in a higher level, you know? Like, I think he can do it in a fashion to where he's throwing combinations, he's landing, he's moving around, but he's not necessarily, you know, running in the same fashion that William Skull did. But listen, I'm expecting Terence Bud Crawford to use his legs a lot in this fight. I mean, think about it, guys. Do you guys honestly think that a guy's going to move up 2 weight classes, get in there with a guy that's known for knocking dudes out and known for dropping people? And listen, I know that Canelo Alvarez hasn't knocked anybody else since Caleb Plant. I'm well aware of that. But you can't take away from the fact that he's still dropping people. You can't take that away from him. If he's still dropping people that's bigger than him, then he still has power. You understand what I'm saying? So do you guys really think that Terence Bud Crawford is stupid enough to stand in the middle of the ring with Canelo Alvarez at a weight class that he's never fought at? You guys really see that? He did it with Majimov because Majimov only had 11 or 12 professional fights at the time. He just turned pro. I know Majimov had a championship belt, but like, bro, Israel Majimov only had 11 or 12 pro fights when he fought Terence Crawford. That's why Terence Crawford stood in the middle of the ring. I don't see him doing that with Canelo, bro. Because if he does do that, I think this fight is gonna go very similar to how Devin Haney and Ryan Garcia went. The worst thing Devin Haney did when he fought Ryan Garcia is choosing to stand in the middle of the ring and slug it out with Ryan. Because Ryan is a knockout artist. He may be a one-trick pony, right? He may be a one-trick pony, which is that left hook, right? Don't let him be on the Austin ring. Don't let him come into the fight overweight, because that left hook is damn near deadly. You feel me? But I think this Canelo and Terence fight, if Bud stands in the middle of the ring like an idiot, I see it going very similar to how Ryan and Devin went. I see Bud getting dropped at least 2 to 3 times. I see Bud potentially getting stopped. And I just see Bud losing on the scorecards. But if Bud moves around the ring, right, and keep in mind, he was training with Shakur Stevenson like he always does. I think that's why Bud made sure to bring Shakur Stevenson into his camp to help him train for this fight. Because I think Shakur Stevenson is helping Bud move around the ring and hit and not get hit. I see a scenario where Terence Bud Crawford wins this fight in a Shakur Stevenson-esque fashion. You know, I would even say a Devin Haney-esque fashion, kind of similar to Devin Haney's fight with Lomachenko. I could see Bud winning this fight where he either wins by unanimous decision or majority decision, but it's in a fashion to where the boxing fans are going to say he was running and the boxing fans are going to say that he lost. Just like when Devin Haney beat Lomachenko, you know, and a lot of people feel like Devin Haney lost that fight. That's how I think this fight is going to go. I think it's going to be very similar to that. Because when you move up 2 weight classes, bro, you have to put on muscle. Think about it, right? To the people that subscribe to the channel, what have I been saying about David Benavidez since he moved up to light heavyweight? The reason why you're not seeing David Benavidez knocking out anybody at light heavyweight or even hurting anybody at light heavyweight is because he hasn't put on muscle. He has the same exact body that he had when he was fighting at 168. He has a dad bod. Let's just call it what it is. He has no muscles on his arms. He don't got a 6-pack, right? Like David Benavidez, like when you look at him, like dude looks like he hasn't lifted a weight a day in his life. And when you move up to a higher weight class, bro, You have to work on your strength and conditioning. You have to put on muscle so your power translates, bro. David Benavidez is like 6'3", 6'4". He was weight bullying everybody at 168. He was always bigger than everybody. And that's why he was knocking dudes out left and right, because he's taller than them, his arms are longer than them, and he has power. But now that he's at a weight class that he was supposed to be fighting at in the first place at 175 light heavyweight, look at his first fight at light heavyweight against Gwozdik. Yeah, he won the fight. Yeah, he pretty much won every round of the fight, but he didn't hurt that guy at all. At all. Second fight was against David Morrell. He got dropped by David Morrell. Many people think, oh, he didn't get dropped, he slipped, whatever. He didn't hurt David. He didn't hurt David Morrell. He didn't knock out David Morrell. And that was David Morrell's first fight at light heavyweight. Now David Benavidez is about to fight Anthony Yarde, who's a knockout artist, who's brolic, got muscles on top of muscles. This is a dude that almost beat Artur Beterbiev in his prime. Ended up getting knocked out, right? Also had a competitive fight with Sergey Kovalev, got knocked out, right? But we got to give respect when it's due. Anthony Yarde has the more experience at light heavyweight than David Benavidez, and he's a proven knockout artist. We know that at light heavyweight, Anthony Yarde has power. Anthony Yarde's biggest issue was his stamina, because he got all them damn muscles. After the 6th or 7th round, the dude gets extremely tired and he just doesn't even like to move around the ring, right? So that's just how I see things, man. I'm worried about Terence Crawford, and this makes me feel even more confident that my prediction of Canelo winning this fight by unanimous decision or majority decision, right? I think that that's exactly what's going to happen. And I don't think Bud's going to get knocked out, but I do think he's going to get dropped for the first time in his career officially, right? He got dropped by Kovalaskis, but they called it a slip. I think Canelo was going to drop Terence Crawford at least once or twice. Could be 3 times, but at least once or twice. So that's my thoughts on this, man. Let me know what you guys think about this. Are you guys worried about Terence Crawford's arms looking skinny 11 days out from this fight between Canelo Alvarez and Terence Bud Crawford? Let me know in the comment section. It's your boy Wavy. Make sure y'all subscribe, thumbs up the video. Most importantly, leave a comment. I'm out.